Well, hello everybody and welcome to Jeff's Baking Blog. Today I'm going to make some chocolate muffins, or moist chocolate muffins. It occurred to me that although I've done coconut and chocolate and I've done banana and chocolate and various other things, I've never done a video, I think, of just muffins flavoured with chocolate, so with cocoa powder and chocolate chips. So I thought that's what I would do and try to make them as moist as possible using some natural yoghurt. You could use buttermilk or you could use milk, but I think the natural yoghurt will give a tenderness to the muffins as well. So it's a very straightforward recipe, as muffin recipes tend to be, and I start off by preheating my oven to 180 degrees Celsius, that's 160 Celsius with a fan, 350 Fahrenheit, and I've lined a 12-hole muffin tray with paper cups. So I'll go on to the ingredients, and for this I have 200 grams, which is 1 cup plus a third of a cup, based on scooping packed flour into a 250 milliliter cup of plain flour. I have 200 grams, 1 cup of caster sugar. I have 50 grams, half a cup of cocoa powder, 120 millilitres, half a cup of vegetable oil, 240 millilitres, 1 cup of natural yoghurt. You can use sort of natural yoghurt or Greek yoghurt, or as I said, you could use buttermilk or creme fraiche. But those things give a certain acidity to the muffins, which tenderizes the texture a little bit. But you could use just straightforward milk as well if you wanted to. 2 medium eggs, that would be large in the USA. 5 millilitres, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. 4 grams, 1 teaspoon of baking powder. 2 grams, half a teaspoon of baking soda. 1.5 grams, a quarter of a teaspoon of salt, and 180 grams, 1 cup of chocolate chips. And I'm using dark or semi-sweet chocolate chips, 51% cocoa solids. So that's all the ingredients. And what we need to do is to mix the wet ingredients together, mix the dry ingredients together, combine them, and then put them in the muffin cases. And you could do this if you wanted to with a hand mixer, but I'm going to do it just by hand. So I'm going to put the eggs and the vanilla extract together with the oil and the yoghurt into a slightly larger bowl so that I can whisk those together, and then incorporate the sugar as well, because sugar, because it dissolves when it's heated, is considered to be a wet ingredient. Not that it matters overly. So with the eggs, oil, vanilla and yoghurt in, I'm just going to whisk those and get those fully combined. And then I'm going to put the sugar in and whisk it again to get that fully mixed through. And set that to one side. So then I'm going to put my flour and the baking powder baking soda and salt into another bowl. Give those a mix around to get those combined. And then I'm going to add the cocoa powder, and usually I would sift the cocoa powder because it has a tendency to clump, but because these are muffins and we're putting chocolate chips in, it doesn't matter that much, so I'm not going to sift it. And that's good enough like that. So then I'm going to put the chocolate chips in as well, and I'll give those a stir around. And then I'm going to pour in our wet mixture. And I'm going to stir that just until everything is just combined. I don't want to overmix the batter at all. You don't overmix muffin batter. So I'm just going to stir that until it all gets combined. So that's just mixed and it's just about combined. And the last thing to do is to put that into the muffin cases and to bake it. So just, I'm going to use an ice cream scoop, and I'm just going to scoop the batter in and divide it as evenly as I can. And so that's divided fairly evenly into the muffin cases. So I'm going to put that into the oven, and I'm going to bake the muffins between 20 and 25 minutes. I'll keep an eye on them. They should rise up quite nicely to completely fill the cases and come over the top a little bit. And they're likely to crack on the top as well, as muffins tend to do. And a skewer poked into the centre should be just a little bit moist, dry, you know, sort of clean, but just a little bit moist probably. And that will tell me that they're done. And that can take, as I said, between 20 and 25 minutes, depending on how absorbent the flour is and things like that. So I'll take them out of the oven and leave them in the tray for about 15 minutes. Then I'll transfer them to a wire rack to cool completely. And once they've cooled down, I'll come back and we'll have a taste of them. I baked the chocolate muffins, the moist chocolate muffins, for 24 minutes. I tested them after 20 minutes and the skewer was a little bit wetter than I wanted the muffins to be. So I left them in for a further 4 minutes. Then I tested again and the skewer was just that little bit moist. So I took them out of the oven and left them in the pan for a while. Then I transferred them to a wire rack. So this is what they look like. And I've taken one out of its paper case. They're still just a little bit warm, but that's fine. So this is the one that I took out of the paper case, and you can see the texture is very, very nice. And I'll break this open and have a taste of it. So you can see inside that it's nice and moist and lovely and soft. So I'll have a taste. That is very, very good. A wonderful chocolate flavour, obviously, and because it's warm, the chocolate chips are still nice and soft, and I think they'll stay soft even as they cool down. And a really rich chocolatey flavour. So very, very easy to make. as I mentioned, but all muffins are easy to make, and very, very tasty. So that's going to be it for this video, and I hope you've enjoyed it. And if you have, please give me a thumbs up below and click to subscribe to my YouTube channel. In the top right hand corner of the screen there will be an eye that you can click on, and that will take you to a link for the recipe, and I'll put a link below the video as well. And I'll be back with another recipe in the very near future. So until then, happy baking.